So, patching the walls, we like to use the Easy Sand. This is the 20-minute version. If you mix it right proportion, you get about 20 minutes of working time before it starts to harden. And thin patches on the wall will dry rather quickly. And that is, we just dump into a 5-gallon bucket, so it's a little easier to carry around. Just got a little scoop in here, and I will portion out about what I think it will take to patch this wall. And I just have a little bottle of water here with me, so I can do this right here without having to run to the sink. So you want to add your water slowly, mixing as you go, so you can always add more water, but you can't take it out. So just kind of mix it around in there. You're looking for a nice creamy, smooth texture. So you need a little bit more water. Alright, that looks pretty good. That's about the texture that we're looking for. So if you touch it, it will form peaks. Nail holes over here, what I like to do is take my 5-in-1 and just kind of push those in, because when you put a nail in, it causes the drywall to pucker up a little bit. And even putting a patch over that, you'll still have a raised edge that you will be able to see after you sand it. So just kind of push it in a little bit so that when you patch it, it'll be nice and smooth and flush to the surface of the wall. So another area that we're going to patch is where that wire bracket was, because it was painted around, so those paint lines will leave a raised edge that you will be able to see through a finished coat. So we're just going to do a quick skim over that as well. Alright, we got the big stuff taken care of. Now I'm just going to take a quick pass. I generally like to start at one corner and just kind of work my way all the way around the room so I don't miss anything. Just kind of looking for any random damage to the wall that might need a little bit of a patch. That's it. All right, so we got all of our nail holes and damage patched last night. So it's had overnight to dry, and so especially with nail holes and things where you have an indentation in the wall, you really want to overfill it, so then once it's dry you can sand it flush to the wall. I mean, if you try to just flush fill it, as it dries it will sink in and still leave a little dimple. So this is overfilled and dry, so we're just going to go ahead and sand it. And you want to go all the way around the outside to knock down that high edge, and then just a light pass over the whole thing, and that'll give you a nice smooth surface that will disappear once it's primed and painted. Moving over to this thing. So a lot of times with really big patches and extensive damage, it's going to take more than one coat of mud. If you put it on too thick, it will, one, take a very long time to dry, and there's the possibility that it will crack as it dries. So you'll end up having to put another coat on anyway. So less is more, build it up in layers, is usually the most efficient way to do it. So we're gonna go ahead and get this sanded, and we'll see what it looks like. So that's not too bad, but there's still a little bit of a raised edge here, so I think we're going to go ahead and do another light skim, and that should take care of it. on to, this is where we had that wire harness. We just did a light skim after we removed our glue. So it was a very, very small raised edge, so it didn't take a whole lot to fill that in. I always like to run my hand over a patch after it's sanded, because you can feel those little edges that will show up once it gets painted. And that feels pretty good, so I think we're good with that one. All right, so we are all done sanding. So, thing to note, drywall dust is very light and will travel very far. A lot of times it's a good idea to put up plastic to kind of keep it contained. So we are painting this whole room, so it's not as big of a concern, but we are going to clean up after ourselves. So we keep the drop cloth down, we'll vacuum up all the dust that is on the baseboard and shoe molding, and we'll fold up the drop inside of itself and take it outside and shake it out, so we can keep the dust to a minimum. Thanks for watching part 2 of how to paint an interior wall. Up next is part 3.